Welcome to Pink Kink,
where we talk about the pretty, twisted side of kink.
I'm Princess Rara.
And I'm Dara, the Electro Khaleesi.
Whether you are a new kinkster or have years of experience, Pink Kink will help you level up your kink knowledge.
Join us on this journey as we talk about our personal experiences and use the knowledge we've gained over 28 years of being involved in both private and professional aspects of this lifestyle to help you explore every facet of kink.
Get set for an adventure. Not only will you learn and grow, but we promise loads of laughter, turning each episode into a fun party. So fasten your seatbelt and let's get this show started. Pink Kink runs off the generosity of our devoted patrons.
As a patron, you will become a member of our special Discord server, receive some adorable Pink Kink stickers, as well as have access to a monthly behind-the-scenes podcast. Patrons also get discounts at our Etsy shop, Pink Kink Boutique, and our online classes at Pink Kink Institute.
In addition, our impactful and electrifying Pink Kinksters get special audio and video episodes. And finally, patrons at our highest tier will be recognized as producers, both here on the podcast and on our website.
If you would like to become a patron, you can visit us at patreon.com/pinkkinkpodcast or click the link at pinkkinkpodcast.com.
Today's episode is produced by our electrifying Pink Kinksters. Thank you, Jay, Witcherman, Brianna Lynn, Daddy J, Fabe, Embers, William P, Claire, Lady Blooding, Naughty and Nice, Butte Pain, Manda Panda, Kat, Stefan, Shadow Phoenix, Brian, May Cry Devil, Ruby Riot, Mistress Velma, Enchanted Sparrow, The Wombat, Impact Hazard, Twitch, The Midnight Girl, Sinful, J21, Daisy If You Do, AK Harley Chick, Violet Rain, Serenity, Belle, Eric, Lady Affliction,
Pumpkin Pie, Ms. Tourmaline, S'more, Hacksaw, Wee Mad Beastie, To Be Better For Me, 3 a.m. Thoughts, Crash Override, Iro, Kinky Bear, Sviper No Swiping, Barbie, Navigator Bard, Frost, Sinful and Naughty, Coffee and Chaos, Noir, Mr. Pillsbury, Stitch, Peaches, Mighty Owl, Princess Sassy Pants, Chaos Monster, Jessa Lady, DJ Harlow, Ophelia, Drew, Daddy's Pumpkin, Birchbeard, Lady to Kitten, Mongoose, Sadia, Forest, and It's Valentine. All right, well, hopefully we're not going to be as ridiculously goofy in this episode, but I'm not entirely sure.
Why?
People
seem to like it when we do that.
I mean, but yeah, okay, that's true. But like, are we all goofed out at this point? Because toward the end of the last episode we recorded, we weren't as goofy because we were trying to get all the information in. So I was doing my damnedest to shut the fuck up. Is that what you're going to do this time? Or
no, well, I can never shut the fuck up. We know that.
That's true. There's no shut the fuck up in you.
Okay, should we be singing a song for the beginning of this one?
Do you have a song in mind?
I do, but I don't think I can sing it. I have to look up the words.
What is it?
Well, if I tell you, that takes all the fun out of it. So hold on. I'm going to look it up. Let's see. Oh, well, we could do this one. I'm a Barbie girl
in a Barbie world. Life in plastic. It's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere.
See?
Imagination.
Right? Is that the appropriate song for this?
It's perfect. Absolutely. Well done.
Please don't think this is going to be a thing every time because A, if you don't like it, then I don't want you to worry it's going to happen every time. And then B, if you love it, I don't want the pressure.
No.
Because sometimes we don't have a song for it.
We have for let's see, we did Jealousy, which, by the way, remember I figured out
yes,
the one that you were thinking of and the one that I was thinking of were two different songs.
I knew what you were thinking of didn't sound right to me.
So, yeah, yours was Hey Jealousy, Hey Jealousy.
Yeah.
That one. Yep. All right. So, I don't have anything. I don't have a shtick. That was my shtick, so I
started with the Barbie. I thought that was sufficient. Wasn't that sufficient shticking enough?
That was good shticking.
Thank you. Don't try this at home. We are shtick professionals.
Are we? I'm not entirely sure we are.
You almost said entirely sure.
Sure. Because shtick.
There goes. Is that silly enough?
Oh, God. We need more sleep.
Okay.
Like, just on a permanent basis, we need more sleep.
Well, Always.
Yeah. So we're going to do an episode about dollification.
I didn't know that.
Don't even play. Don't even play. That was not even remotely. All right, so here's the thing. I just want to know, and I'm just going to pull so here's the thing. I did take the dollification class, and they asked this question in the dollification class.
All right,
so now
ready?
I
didn't know there was going to be a quiz.
There's a pop quiz.
But I didn't notice it was a question. So
okay.
Ready.
Did you look at all of it? Or did you just look at like the first 2 lines like you said?
I looked at it half-heartedly.
Okay.
You
asked it?
Yes.
You may not know the answers to this, which is perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, ready. I'm ready.
Great. What is something that you immediately think of, the first thing you think of when you hear dollification?
I think very much of Barbie.
Okay, so do I. That's what I said when I took this class.
Yeah.
So is that the only thing you think of?
I tend to think of very related to sissification.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to think of it being male identifying person dressed as a female.
Okay.
Who stands around a lot.
Okay.
They don't move much because dolls don't move. And that's sort of what I think about. I have not really seen much in the way of dollification scenes. So you
haven't seen it in action?
I'm a virgin.
So this is actually going to be really interesting for you. So I'm actually very excited to see your reactions to some of these, especially because you didn't really look at it.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy you didn't.
Okay.
So I also said Barbie because to me, turns out incorrectly, I very heavily associated dollification with bimbofication.
Yes, that whole dollification, bimbofication, sissification, all to me is interrelated.
Right. They're very much not.
Ooh. This is going to be a learning experience today.
I learned so much from that class that I took, and I tried to incorporate as much as I could. Plus, I took stuff from articles and whatnot too. But mostly the types of dolls that they discussed were the most interesting part to me. So I really, really did a lot with that.
By the way, guys, the class she's talking about is part of Wicked Grounds, which I'm going to give a plug to them, even though we're not affiliated with them at all.
They did a good job.
I've taken classes with Wicked Grounds, and they are amazing. They're out of San Francisco. They have in-person classes, but they do a lot of online classes too, in a wide variety of topics. I took a hoo-cow class with them, and then I've taken some other classes specifically for educators. And I also did one with them for demo tops.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very cool. You can find Wicked Grounds on FetLife. They're also on Plura, Plura. And classes are very reasonably priced. And what's very cool is when you buy a ticket, you also get the recording if the class is recorded. So if you can't actually make the class that night, you still have access to the recording and can watch it on your own schedule.
Yeah. Our friend Cindy Barbie actually did that. They couldn't make it to the actual class that night, so they watched it with afterwards.
Yeah.
And
Cindy also took the hoo-cow class too with me.
Well, it's a really cool way to do it. And just in case you're wondering, no, they do not record your face. They don't even allow your face to show up in the class. So it's like a special version of Zoom so that they can record it.
It's the webinar version of Zoom, which I looked into for us. It's expensive. That's why we haven't done it.
No, we don't have the common money.
No.
So dollification rolled up with sissification, rolled up with bimbofication is kind of where I was at too. But again, not so much. So dollification is a kink, obviously, that involves transforming oneself or someone else into a living doll. So that kind of was obvious. It can involve aspects of objectification, its aesthetic changes like clothing, makeup, wigs, anything like that. It's heavy on role play, and it can include complete surrender to another's control because, again, dolls. Did you play with dolls as a kid?
Yeah.
I did. Big time. Loved it. Barbies, all the dolls.
I had a very traumatic experience with my Pippi Longstocking doll.
I had Cabbage Patch dolls.
I was in college when I got a Cabbage Patch doll.
Oh, see, actually, it was really cute. My goddaddy, he got me a Cabbage Patch doll that was me. basically. Like, you could customize Cabbage Patch dolls way back in, and I got one. That was me. I don't know what happened to it. Well, so one of the ways you can call it is the submissive can be the doll, and the dominant is called the doll maker or the owner. And it's very power dynamic-y, but it doesn't have to be. But I'm just going to stick with this one aspect of it just to make it a little simpler. So I'm almost hesitant to bring this up just because of like the scandal surrounding Joss Whedon. But just to put it in kind of perspective, there was a TV show 15-ish years ago called Dollhouse.
I've heard of it, but I didn't watch it.
It was only 2 seasons, and of course the second season bombed. Look, Joss Whedon, great ideas, bombing actually in the actual making of it. But it's sci-fi people or sci-fi people. It's a sci-fi series where people are turned into blank slates and programmed to assume new personalities and identities for different clients. And of course, every single episode, the main character, Eliza Dushku, has a new personality. And I remember specifically there was a BDSM dominatrix personality that she used to do. And I got super excited when I saw that one. They can be molded, controlled, customized for very specific personality traits, desires, fantasies, anything like that. There was one episode where a guy's wife died, and it was the day that he sold his company and made like a shit fuck ton of money. So now that he's filthy stinking rich, every year on the anniversary of that day, he has a doll go to the house that they had just bought, and he tells his wife the good news because he never got the chance to do it. So it's like that, but sci-fi.
Okay.
So another one that people might be familiar with from media is Stepford Wives.
I know that well. And
Yeah.
I'm laughing because it's the 1975 one I know.
Well, there was the movie of it.
Because you weren't around then.
No.
But
I never watched the original. The
I
only
did.
one I ever saw was the one with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah. Well, the original one, if I remember correctly, and I'll have to double check, I believe Catherine Ross was in that one.
Okay.
And you're looking at me going, who's Catherine Ross?
Yep,
and you have no idea.
No idea.
All right, you keep talking. I'm going to go see if I'm correct, just because I like to know sometimes that I actually remember things the correct way.
Well, so both of these versions, like the movie version and what was it? It was a TV show or was it a movie?
I think it was a movie.
Okay, well, it's talking about turning women into like the perfect wives, like the trad wife shit that we have to listen to right now.
Catherine Ross, I was right.
Good job.
I'm so proud of myself.
But they're like emotionless, compliant dolls.
Mm-hmm.
And their only purpose is to fulfill their husband's desires,
Yes.
right? So it's the idealized, controlled transformation. So like I'm going from the Nicole Kidman version, and she wasn't one of these wives. She was like a normal person. And then they brainwash them?
It's very cult-like.
Right. But it's not just behavioral changes. It's like the look of it.
Yep.
It's literally the 1950s housewife look.
Yes.
So lots of polka dots. And then this is something you absolutely will not have any clue about, but it's an anime called Ghost in the Shell.
Yep. No, I don't do anime.
Right. So it's cyberpunk about technology and artificial intelligence. There's a character who questions her humanity because her body is basically entirely artificial. So it's like a human brain in a mostly artificial body. And it's not specifically about dollification, but it's the human consciousness within a manufactured doll-like body. So it kind of parallels it a little bit. So I pulled a lot of media on these to give a lot of context, because I know that sometimes the comparison for one of these things, what you're talking about, people don't have like that visual. So I'm going to try and give a bunch of visuals, but
Good luck with that. Yep.
descriptive visuals.
Yep. There you go.
There we go. Okay, so one thing that I'm going to bring up, because I'm a word nerd, I'm an absolute lit fucking nerd. You tell me if you know this one. Have you ever heard Pygmalion and Galatea's story?
I've heard Pygmalion.
Okay. Galatea was the statue.
Okay.
And I could write a fucking dissertation on how the story of Pygmalion and Galatea is 100% a kink dollification thing.
And this is maybe completely off the top. Didn't Pygmalion come up too in, what movie is that? I'm blanking now. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain.
Oh, fuck.
Good. Now join me in my world of not being able to remember it.
Now you have to look it up.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that.
It's the one where he's training the girl to not have that accent, and it's not singing in the rain.
No, the rain. Hold on, I'll get it. But I'm so glad. Okay, so the rain in Spain song. Professor Higgins.
Okay.
My Fair Lady.
That's it.
That's where I know Pygmalion from.
Okay.
Don't ask me
Not
why.
me. This is one of my favorite myths. Like, I have studied the shit out of this.
I mean, if you think about it, in that movie, he is trying to make her almost like a Stepford wife type thing, where she can't be herself. She needs to be.
Wasn't the whole premise of that like she's like it's a Cockney accent?
Yeah,
and then he's trying to like train her in Queen's English and dress properly and stuff.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's Pretty Woman.
Kind of, yeah.
It's a little bit Pretty Woman too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry,
I just made that parallel.
I totally just took over. Sorry about that.
No, you blew my mind with that one. Okay,
that's how. I don't know why I know Pygmalion from that. Obviously, it's in there somewhere.
Clearly.
Well,
I know that the name gets thrown around a lot because it's a pretty famous story. But if you haven't heard it, basically, Pygmalion was a sculptor, ancient Greek myth. So, on one of the Greek islands, and basically becomes like, well, I reference him as an incel, just totally disillusioned with women, doesn't like how imperfect they are, finds them completely revolting. Yes.
It says My Fair Lady is based on the 1913 play Pygmalion.
Well, fuck yeah.
That's why. I'm a genius.
Oh, you made that connection. Woohoo.
Me and Google. Yes, go.
Yes. So he basically decides to remain unmarried, but still wants to find the perfect woman. So he sculpts one. He's a sculptor. He's a very famous sculptor. He's a very famous artist, so he makes his perfect woman. She's beautiful, flawless, and so lifelike, because he's that talented of an artist, that no living woman could ever compare to his lovely Galatea.
Never.
So basically, he falls in love with the fucking statue and dresses it and gives it jewelry and sleeps in bed with it. I mean, it is that level. The story basically is about his desire for a woman who is not only perfect, but also very passive and very under control, which are qualities sought after in Dollification fantasies. And if essentially the whole story ends up, he prays to, who's the goddess of love? Aphrodite? Prays to Aphrodite and is so devout in his praise and generosity and whatever the fuck to Aphrodite that she's like, all right, cool. Galatea is a real woman now. Goes home. She's a real woman, but she has the personality that he wanted. So, like I said, again, I could write an entire fucking dissertation on how that's kink. So what I want to do is just really quick go over the exact appeal that dollification would have, and then we're going to get into the types of dolls because that's the part that I like the best.
Okay.
It's about identity. If I can talk, I'm pulling a U now. See, we've infected each other. I'm telling you.
We've switched personalities, yes.
Oh, Robert ADHD'd and I stopped being able to speak. This is a good fucking day. It's about identity transformation. There we go. And it allows people who are engaging in dollification to explore new identities and escape their own. You can become that blank slate that I was talking about from Dollhouse. You can stand there and be told what your personality is going to be and just lose your individualism. And a lot of times people really want that. So I keep saying that one of the reasons that I little so hard when I get home and I need this as part of my dynamic, I can't go back, is because I have such bad decision fatigue at work that I come home and I don't want to make another fucking decision. Dollification kind of is the same thing. You don't want to have another decision. You want that decision made for you. This is one of the ways that you can do it.
That makes sense.
It's about relinquishing control, and it allows the doll to be completely surrendered and give control over to the dominant. It's how they're dressed, their makeup, their hair, their personality, everything. And again, it's part of that. You don't have to make any other decisions. Like, they're made for you. And the other part of it is the fantasy of perfection. The submissive is transformed into an idealized version of themselves, fulfilling fantasies of physical perfection, control, subservience, obedience, all of these other things that you can throw into it. You might also simply just be into the aesthetic and physical transformation because it involves costumes and props, and you can do wigs and even masks. It's not just makeup. You can do full-on masks. You can do prosthetics. You can do like Halloween makeup. You know how they have that silicone thing that you attach to your face, and you can literally change your face shape. You can play around with all of that stuff and even look like a completely different person. I do that with some of my really fun wigs. Like the blue one that I was wearing for the birthday party, that's my favorite fucking wig. And a lot of it is also, you can include sensory deprivation and objectification. Clearly, doll, object.
Right.
You can be limited mobility or even completely immobile. You can be restrained, and you can do that with actual like rope, like physical restraints, or be told, don't move, you're a fucking doll. And then the sensory deprivation, you can use masks or hoods or blindfolds. You can put like a cloth on their mouth. You can mess up their hearing. You are basically removing any kind of bodily autonomy from the doll. And a lot of people really like that.
Yeah. That sounds cool to me.
I mean, I sort of already do a little bit of this. You know, the whole daddy chooses my underwear thing?
Yeah.
Well, he started to choose a lot more than that. Like, I'll say, hey, you want to choose my outfit for work today? And I'll say, I was thinking these. And I'll hold up like 3 or 4. And he goes, oh, absolutely, this one. And then you should wear these earrings with that. This jewelry. And he says, you don't have enough of this type of accessories. You should get more of them. And I did. And then he made me wear them. So
it works great if you agree with their tastes.
Yeah, so here's the thing. He's like super happy because, okay, so like I think back in high school, he would have dated a goth girl, and I was a goth girl back in high school. So I still have the tendencies. I don't know that I would have dated him though, because he had NSYNC hair. Did you ever see pictures of Daddy J in high school?
Oh.
He had frosted tips.
All right, it's not his fault. That's what people did in those days.
I know, but it looked ridiculous. So, yeah, anyway, but I still have the tendencies, and that's what he likes.
Okay.
So it kind of works out. Like, he loves it when I wear my goth stuff. And it's very vintage, so it suits me just fine. Okay. So, couple of different kinds of dolls. And when I say couple, I actually mean like 14.
Oh, that many?
Yes. I told you it was the biggest part of this. Got any silly shit that you want to get out?
No, I see the appeal. I'm curious as to how, let's say, this might differ from littles in the sense of not wanting to have to make own decisions and turning your brain off and letting somebody else.
Yeah, well, isn't that what you said that you wanted way back when you were trying to be a submissive?
I mean, I still do on occasion, because I don't think there's a person on this planet who at some point or another would not like to be able to turn their brains off.
Yeah.
My problem has always been, though, that they'd have to do things
my way.
The way that I believe is the right way, which is my way.
Well, I mean, I'm lucky enough that my husband happens to know my way and agrees with it. So I'm very, very lucky in that.
Yeah, I'm much more of a control freak.
Yeah.
And I admit it freely.
Well, that's the only reason I can let go of the control is because we do have the same tastes and stuff like that.
There you go.
So it actually kind of works. Like, remember the time that I wore a specific dress to a munch because he picked it out?
Yep.
Yeah. But it's my clothes. I chose them. I bought them. So, of course, I'm going to wear them.
Yeah. See, I think I just had a bad experience because Voldemort would help me, was supposed to pick out my clothes, and we didn't have the same tastes.
Yeah.
And even when I would give him choices from my own clothes, like I don't own a lot. I'm not a dress person because my top and bottom are different sizes. So I do a lot of separates. And he would pick a lot of tops that didn't go with bottoms. They didn't match right, or they weren't
Look,
appropriate for the environment.
everything was fucking wrong with this dude. So like, I'm not really surprised that he had bad taste
I think I have
as well.
PTSD from that.
Yeah. I'm very, very lucky. And here's the thing. I don't let him go into my closet and pick whatever. I give him choices. You know, and like, I can't decide which one of these. Which one do you think?
Oh, look. Virgo OCD here. Remember, I made an entire database of my entire closet.
I want to do that. Like, I want to have Cher from Clueless's database where you just, you know, have all your stuff in picture form and it goes and makes it for you like a fucking paper doll. I want that so bad. Somebody needs to come up with that app.
I do like the idea of the costumes and the props and the makeup and the hair.
Actually, I think you would do pretty well with this.
Yeah.
Acting and, you know, just doing like a little bit of a different personality. It'd be fun.
Maybe for a little bit.
Yeah, like a scene, not like a whole thing, of course.
But I'd only end up being back by myself. I mean, I could see myself doing this to somebody, though. Yeah. I like the idea of taking somebody and doing their hair and their makeup and putting them in a certain outfit and dressing them up. That I do like.
So you'd be a doll maker?
I would be a doll maker.
Yeah, I kind of want to be the doll. Well, I want to be both. I want to, no. Because you and I cannot do scenes together because we laugh too fucking hard while we're doing it.
Okay, fine.
All right, maybe once.
All right.
Okay, how about this? I'll let you choose my next outfit for a munch and see how that goes.
Okay.
All right. Oh, fuck. You know I'm going to end up giving you choices. Which one should I pick? You know, you don't get to go through my closet.
Fine.
Okay.
You never let me have any fun.
Oh, God. Okay. I let you punch my ass at the birthday party.
Okay, that was fun.
Okay. Never let you have any fun. Good Lord. I literally was saying my ass. All right, let's get into the types of dolls.
Okay, I know, because you've been wanting to go.
It's my favorite part.
Okay.
I told you there's 14.
My God. All right, I hope I have enough coffee for this. Go.
I have 11 pages of notes. I almost beat you.
I am so proud of you.
I seriously, when I tell you that I was having so much fun with this one.
All right, but I will say here's the difference. I had 13 pages of notes with a quarter of with a half inch
margin.
You have an inch margin with 11, so I recognize the margins.
Oh, well, I didn't know how to change them.
That's fine.
It would have been less if I had.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my God, way to ruin my fun.
So sorry.
All right. So the first one is mannequins.
Yeah.
And so mannequins are dolls that are modeled after types of lifeless, inanimate figures that you find in like department store windows.
Oh, yeah. There's a whole movie called Mannequin.
Yes.
That came to life, yes.
So the goal is to make the submissive or doll appear completely motionless, the stiffness, the expressionless. They have to be just like a mannequin.
So they don't talk or anything, huh?
Nothing. So this one's characteristics are frozen posture. The doll is posed in a very stiff and rigid position. I could honestly see us doing this to Cindy.
Cindy would probably do almost all of these.
Yeah. Well, now we're going to have to come up with 14 different scenes where Cindy is every single one of these and see what happens.
Challenge accepted.
On behalf of Cindy?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm her big sis.
Well,
I can speak for her.
The reason I took this class was because I was planning on actually doing a dollification
Same
scene
way I do
with
this
Cindy.
with Naughty and Nice too. I volunteer her all the time to be bottom for stuff.
Does she know what we most recently volunteered her
yes.
for? Did you text her like this morning?
I think I text. Well, she knows we had the concepts of a plan.
Thoughts and prayers. Oh God.
Considering I highly, highly doubt we have any MAGA folks who listen to us, I'm not apologizing for that.
No. Okay.
And if we have any MAGA fans that listen to us, we probably don't anymore.
Sorry, not sorry. When did we ever? I mean, seriously. Whew. That was good. Okay. Well, you should probably text her because we did just amend that scene and add a little bit to it.
Okay, I'll let her know.
Okay. Another fucking A.
Sorry.
Still.
You said we were going to still be silly. Sorry.
I can't keep a straight face doing this. Okay. Which leads me to my next characteristic, blank expression. This is why you and I can't do scenes together.
Right now.
Because we can't.
I won't behave. It's me. I know the problem is me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Because I will go out of my way to do something to try to make you laugh. So I recognize wholeheartedly I am the problem.
I can see you trying to do a mannequin doll scene and then purposely trying to get them to like break character.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That would be the whole challenge.
100%. Oh, no. Cindy wouldn't be able to handle that. There's no way in hell. I'm just calling it.
It won't take me more than a minute to break her. She's too easy.
No.
I need a tougher challenge.
Yeah, no. Oh, Cindy, she called you easy. I hope you're listening.
I know Cindy. She'll be like, yeah, I am.
Yeah. Cindy's going to, as soon as she hears this episode.
I just saw her last night. Yeah.
She's going to be like, yeah, totally easy. Should we warn her that we discussed it?
No, that's half the fun, is letting her just surprise. That way we'll know if she's current or not.
Oh, that'll be
this
funny
is a
as hell.
test. The test of the emergency Cindy system. Had this been an actual emergency.
Send emergency. Send emergency?
Submergency?
Submergency. Wait. Emerge Cindy.
See, you were so worried we couldn't be silly. Challenge accepted.
Challenge done. God damn.
I'm sorry, we're not even on number 2 yet, are we? We're still
we
number
haven't
1.
finished number 1.
I know. Continue. I don't know how long we've been at this, so I can't give you the finger.
Approximately 30 minutes, so I'm going to give myself the finger. With a capital T. Is that one of our words that we have to add to the coloring book?
I don't know how you add that.
The finger?
With a capital T. Something like, versus just the finger.
I don't know. You just put the finger with a capital T.
I just listened to that again the other day, and listening to you try to figure out where T came. Because the finger.
The word finger does not have a T.
It was so funny. I would have so sworn you were blonde in that moment.
No, it just doesn't. You're ridiculous. It just didn't make any sense. It's not me being blonde. It's you being a wacko.
Look, it made sense in my head because I knew what I was thinking.
Right. Nobody else did, rah-rah.
Okay, I need people to let us know.
Oh,
Did
my
they
Lord.
understand what I meant when I said it?
No.
That's it. Thank you. We'll see. We don't know yet.
Okay. All right. Message
I don't even
us.
think that episode is aired at the time of this recording. It's the one coming up.
Yes.
All right. I'm sorry.
This is going to be interesting.
Back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Mannequins are outfit focused. That's another characteristic. God damn it. I'm going to put a gag on rah-rah.
There's our hard limit.
Okay, fine. Then shut the fuck up so I can finish
Okay, that I can
this.
accept. See, gag is hard limit, but you can tell me to shut the fuck up. That is well within my boundaries.
Go text naughty and nice or something.
I am. Sorry.
God damn it. All right. It is... outfit focus is the doll... Oh my God, I can't. I hate you. The doll's clothing is of central importance. I'm going to... With elaborate or fashionable outfits that mirror what might be found on a display mannequin. God damn it.
I'm not saying a word.
I can still see you, though.
Excuse me.
Where are you going?
I think I peed in my pants.
This is why I peed between recording episodes.
I have to go then.
10 hours later.
Look, you told me you could still see me, so I was hiding under the table so you couldn't see me.
I understand why you did that, but oh my God. You know the problem with us?
So many. Which one in particular?
Okay, well, this part.
Yeah.
We're so goddamn slap happy when we do these episodes. Like, this shit is, I don't think this shit is actually funny. And then
we amuse the hell out of ourselves.
At least, yeah, well, at least we got one thing. We're funny to ourselves.
All right. Are we almost done with number 1?
I'm going to just skip the rest of number 1 because I'm tired of it. At this point, it's been like half an hour. Oh my God. We haven't done that in a long ass time.
No.
Actually, I think that was officially the first. Yeah. We've threatened a few times, but we've never actually had water sports on the show.
We did this time. Look, I'm not young anymore. I have kidney issues. It's all good now. We're all clean. Everything's been cleaned up.
Also, I'm not entirely like what it was when you actually got under the table so you moved while laughing.
And while laughing. I think that was the whole problem. But it's okay. It's all clean now. We're all good.
I'm so glad. that we're all clean now.
Yeah.
This is the dirtiest fucking podcast. I'm going to move on to my next type of doll before we really lose it. All right, so number 2 is actually rag dolls. And this is like Coraline or Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Rag dolls are meant to be like soft and flexible and limp. Kind of like, you know, the little, like, I think my Cabbage Patch doll way back in the day had like the plastic head, but then the rest of it was the rag doll. In this form of dollification, the doll becomes completely pliable and allowing themselves to be manipulated by the doll owner as though they are completely devoid of structure. So like you don't have bones. The characteristics of this are, like we said, the floppiness. You are loose, you're limp, you are falling into positions that the dominant puts you in. So like the dominant stands you up, you fall down. Because these types of dolls can't sit by themselves. They put you in a chair, you're like, and like melting into the chair kind of a position, right? Stop it.
I'm not saying a word. I'm trying
you're
so
saying
hard.
It with your eyes.
I'm sorry.
I can read your eyes.
On?
Your subtitles are screaming at me. Turn your volume down.
Okay. I can't get back into the table. I could pee again. So I'm just going to sit here and not look at you.
Just do something else.
I'm not looking at you.
I'm not touching you.
I know. That's what
The submission for this one emphasizes extreme passivity and relaxation. And there's like no resistance. You allow yourself to be handled or played with at the whim of the dominant. As far as outfits go, you've got like the soft, childlike, whimsical type clothing, like vintage style dresses, nightgowns, lace. It's the kind of thing that I normally associate with like Littles and, you know, the Empire waist frou-frou kind of dress. And the appeal of this is total submission, passivity, and trust. The dominant is in full control of the doll's position, movements, creating a dynamic where the submissive offers themselves as the plaything or object of enjoyment. There, we got through another one. Holy shit.
It's because I'm not saying a fucking
It's because you're not even
words.
looking at me.
I'm trying to stay out of it.
Okay, we're going to get through another one. Bimbo dolls. And this one is focused on extreme femininity, hypersexualization, transformation into a living, idealized, exaggerated version of a bimbo. And this form involves intense focus on the beauty, the makeup, and the sexual objectification type stuff. You've got your hyper feminine appearance, lots of pinks, lots of provocative, glamorous clothing, very exaggerated beauty standards like the large boobs, the dramatic makeup. You've got your sexy behavior as far as personality goes. The bimbo doll may have an overly sexualized or vapid manner, reinforcing the stereotype of being an object of beauty and desire without any intellectual depth. The transformation focus of this one is it involves a process of maybe hypnosis. You could do that. You've got behavioral training. You could even do plastic surgery role play. And the submissive is like turned into the idealized bimbo doll. So this is the Stepford wife one, except not 1950s housewife style. For some people, the fantasy in this is the extreme sexualization and the idea of being molded into the perfect sexual object. While other people, it's about power and control over the transformation aspect into the doll. So it's more the turning into part, not the actual once you're there part. And the reference for this one is actually Legally Blonde.
Oh, love Legally Blonde. I just actually watched it.
I figured you'd like this one. I thought this one would actually like spark your interest the most because of that. And I know this is Cindy's favorite. This is what Cindy wants to be. This type of doll.
Well, bimbo is my wheelhouse.
Right.
So, yeah.
So even though Elle is not literally a doll, she has the bimbo stereotype, but then is then transformed into the empowerment figure. So that's the other reason I thought you'd like that. It's extreme femininity, it's hyper-feminization, and it all fits this concept. So it's Elle pre-lawyer days. Sex dolls. You could do like that latex doll. There's like TV shows where they're basically automatons, but they're like sex dolls, stuff like that. It's centered on transforming the submissive into the sex doll, where their sole purpose is to be an object of sexual use. And I know a lot of people really like this aspect. They're often portrayed as passive, available, stripped of personal agency, entirely focused on fulfilling the desires of the dominant. Characteristics of this one include stillness and silence, something Ravra could never fucking do. The gesture, stillness and silence. You did the silence part. Okay, stop. Just stop. You're very bad at this.
It's too hard. I can't do this.
You're so bad at that.
Because you didn't turn it into a game. If you play the quiet game, I win because I'm that competitive.
Well, no, but I want some interjections.
I don't know what to do.
Isn't this how you feel all the time, like with me, when I'm like, you're telling me you need to participate more and stop just going off into your little world, but I also really want to get all the information done, so you can't do it as much as you knew.
My God, we've totally switched places today.
Yeah. Well, during the previous episode, when I tried to interject, you were like, shut the fuck up.
I don't know what to do.
It's okay. All right.
Listen, I'm still recovering from hiding under the table.
We need a word for what you did.
I don't, stupid.
I can't. All right. The stillness and the silence part. You remain motionless, unresponsive. You have limited to no movement whatsoever, kind of like the mannequin one, but it's making you seem like an inanimate object that gets sex. But like you can't move during the sex part because you're an inanimate object. It's literally just all objectification at that point. All right, so outfit-wise, these are sometimes latex, sometimes silicone outfits. You might use materials that mimic or look the look or feel of a real sex doll. And the fantasy for this is it revolves around the intense objectification of sexual submission. You're completely depersonalized and reduced to an object that is only for sexual pleasure. That's it. Some people might know this one. You won't. Ex Machina.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Okay.
I mean, I should say it's not so much I've heard about the movie.
You've heard the
I've
word.
heard the concept.
Yes.
The concept of a movie.
The concept. Oh my God.
I'll go back to being quiet.
Oh my God. Okay, so technically this one is more like robots, but it does explore the themes of sexual objectification and the reduction of women to inanimate objects and beings of pleasure, and that's it. All right, next one. Porcelain dolls. I am scared of these, so this is going to be kind of a weird one for me, but they're the classic, delicate, the highly aesthetic image resembling the traditional porcelain dolls known for like craftsmanship and innocence and fragility. And this one focuses highly on the appearance, the fragility, and very, very careful treatment because you don't want to break your toys, right? You might have more intricate clothing like Victorian style or vintage outfits, lots of lace, lots of ribbons, lots of frillies that add to the fragility and the sense of being valuable. You know, because porcelain dolls are worth a fuck ton. They're really old ones.
Oh, they're beautiful.
They're the kind that you put in the cabinet.
And nobody touches.
Right. Oh my God. Like, did you, what was it? Toy Story 4? 3? 4? Where the doll was in the cabinet?
Oh, it was 2.
No, it wasn't.
No, they were all in the cabinet. Nobody touched them because he was a collector.
No. I'm not talking about that guy. They were in a store.
Oh, then.
Was it 3 or 4? I don't remember. But no, 3 was when they go to the daycare. The one with Forky. Now I don't even know. That's 4. It's 4?
Forky is 4.
Forky is 4. Okay, so the China doll was in number 4. So this one, like I said, lots of delicate and intricate clothing. It's excessive fragility. You're treated like breakable. It's a handle with care. You can mirror this in the doll's behavior, like moving with extreme caution or pretending to be physically fragile. Not that hard for me. This is, I always move like that. So it's the perfection of innocent beauty. You know, it's the smooth skin, the flawless makeup, maybe the very paleness of the porcelain with a little highlighted of the cheeks and stuff like that. Okay. The perfect curls in the hair. It's that one. So this one emphasizes beauty, grace, and delicacy. The dominant would feel a sense of pride in the preciousness of their doll. The submissive enjoys feeling valued like a fragile creation and needs protection. However, The two things besides the one in the case at, for Toy Story 4 that I found in reference to this are Annabelle. And actually, no, that was it. Annabelle, The Conjuring.
So,
which is the scary fucking version of it.
My mom got from her mother a porcelain doll whose name was Annabelle.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no, it gets weirder. So Annabelle went to a doll hospital to get all cleaned up and freshened up. There was a fire at the doll hospital. Everything but Annabelle's head got destroyed by the fire. Insurance for the doll hospital covered it, and they rebuilt Annabelle. And my parents got her back. And she sat on a chair in the living room. Well, I think it might have been my sister, because we were young. And my sister was looking at it and touching Annabelle and accidentally pushed the eyes so that they fell back into the head.
Oh my God.
So
Did your sister die?
No, but the running thing is that both my sister and I have made it crystal clear to my mom that neither one of us will take Annabelle when my mom dies.
Nope.
She needs to find a new home for Annabelle. We don't care that it was her mother's. We loved our grandma. We are not taking Annabelle.
I wouldn't either. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So when Daddy J and I were house hunting way back in the day, we saw this one house that had all these dolls everywhere. I turned around and walked right the fuck back out because that house was possessed. Clearly. I will have nothing to do with these dolls, that they scare the shit out of me. So moving on to something even more fun, fashion dolls, which also includes Barbie, but also Bratz. And Monster High dolls.
Kind of Bratz.
No.
Bratz with a Z.
Bratz, the dolls. And the Monster High dolls and all of that, which are super fun. If you cosplay as a Monster High doll, that's like ridiculously fun. So again, this is kind of similar to the Bimbo Barbie one, but you don't have to do the airheadedness. They're hyper stylized and usually have an emphasis on glamorous or trendy or completely crazy outlandish clothing. You have impeccable fashion sense. They are meticulously styled and extravagant and fashion-forward outfits. So if you like designer outfits, this might be the perfect one for you. In addition to the outfits being highly stylized, your behavior is highly stylized. And the fashion doll may adopt a playful or glamorous persona, mirroring like the perfect life thing that is associated with dolls like Barbie. You could also do exaggerated femininity and beauty. It's very similar to the Bimbo dolls, but it's an emphasis on glamour rather than the overt sexualization part. And the appeal here is related to fantasy lifestyles, perfection in appearance, ability to transform into the glamorous, iconic figure. And the fashion doll could be a plaything, but also a symbol of beauty and success. So, again, with the Stepford Wives, but also Westworld came up as a reference for this one.
That's show I watched.
I watched one season and then it kind of But the humanoid robots in Westworld are designed to look, act, and feel like real humans, but they're controlled and programmed by their creators. And this is aligning with the idea of androids and dolls as in a highly controlled environment. Robot and android dolls, speaking of which, in this form of dollification, the submissive is transformed into a robot or android, often involving mechanical movement, stiff postures, a sense of artificiality. You can have this range from a fully functional android serving the dominant to a more traditional mechanical doll that is controlled by external means. This didn't come up. I couldn't find it, but there is a TV show that is somewhat more recent that has this, and I can't for the life of me find out what it is, but they're basically servants that are programmed, but they look like real humans. And I think one of them gains sentience in the show or something like that. Kind of like Data.
I love Data. I want me a Data.
I do too. He's really sweet. He's programmed in multiple techniques. So this one is kind of cool because as far as like costuming, you can give them a little more metallic or futuristic kind of appearance. You might wear sleek or metal clothing or latex or some sort of like futuristic emphasized style. And the appeal of this one is controlling something inhuman or synthetic while still being able to program responses. And it creates the power fantasy of total control and objectification. So a lot of these are overlappy. For some, the appeal also lies in the dehumanization and loss of individuality that comes with being transformed into a total android. Okay, once again, something that I don't personally like, and it kind of freaks me out, is marionettes.
Oh.
Marionettes.
Why do they freak you out?
Because they remind me of like ventriloquist dummies too, and those scare the fucking hell out of me. A lot of these scare me. Like some dolls really scare the fuck out of me. I'm not. You know, I played with Barbies and Cabbage Patch dolls as a kid, but a lot of these, I'm not a fan. All right, so the marionette dolls. They're puppets controlled by strings, and this type of dollification involves making the submissive feel like they're being controlled by external forces. The dominant person acts like a puppet master, and they give the movements and the actions to the doll. So you can actually do things with rope for this. So you can actually do rope ties within a frame and then use pulleys like a marionette.
Ooh. We had at Winter Fire this year, somebody did a marionette scene with staples.
Mm-hmm.
They had the pieces of wood with the strings coming down, and then the strings were stapled to their arms.
Right.
And then they held the piece of wood over their head, and they used the strings to
Well,
maneuver
that's one
them.
way to do it.
I would totally do that.
You probably could.
Wait a minute. So
You want to do that next year for your birthday?
No, I was gonna say no. I'm apparently I'm doing 400 needles. Learning curve is already decided.
Never mind then.
No, I'm saying Cindy also does staples.
Oh God, we have so many different scenes that we're doing with it. Between Naughty and Nice and Cindy, like our fantasies are coming true, and we just volunteer them to do it.
Bless their little hearts.
This is
I
gonna be so much fun.
That.
Oh my God, we could totally do a marionette scene. Wonder what outfit I'll be in charge of like doing the outfit and like helping with the makeup and stuff. You do the staples, and then we'll both position. Yep. Oh God, that'll be amazing. So like, okay, so yeah, you can have rope, you can have stapled strings to you. I wonder if we could make them wires and then I can electro it.
I know.
Oh my God. Okay. Again, with the movement, you're still doing that stiff, controlled movement of a puppet. You're reacting to the dominant's commands as though being pulled in different directions, or you're like actually physically being pulled in different directions. Oh my God, I'm running out of time. The living doll thing is, you know what? I'm going to skip that one because it's basically the same thing. Oh, except this one's reference is Chucky.
Ooh, now that's one who scares me.
Yeah, I don't like that. It's like the heavy makeup, perfect grooming, prosthetics, or you can do like the nasty Chucky crazy hair one. I've seen people do that. Clown dolls. Again, we're getting into like the terrifying shit.
Yeah, you're scaring me.
You do clown makeup, you do silly, playful behavior. The costume is, the clown doll thing. And this form of dollification is playful and lighthearted, where the doll is meant to be fun and entertaining, offering a dynamic that balances between humor, objectification, and control. The only thing I keep thinking of, though, is like the clown ragdoll thing. Have you heard of Buttons, the clown at Not Scary Farm? Well, around Halloween, they have scarers come in to do this stuff at night, and you should look it up. Is it Buttons? I'm pretty sure. Anyway, she's absolutely terrifying. She's amazing, but terrifying at the same time. Okay, next one is voodoo dolls.
Ooh.
Right? So that one is scary, but also like really, really cool.
Depends. Can we do a voodoo doll of Voldemort?
Oh, God.
Sorry.
No, probably not. This is a proxy for control. So like you dress up your person, but then you have like the little puppet voodoo doll, or you could, the submissive could become a actual voodoo doll. Like you could dress them up as the voodoo doll themselves. This one, if you do it like you're voodoo dolling the person. So like you move the puppet, and then if they're a human, they're playing their human aspect of it. They have to mimic what you're doing to the doll. But then if you dress them as the voodoo doll, you can stick needles in them. You can pretend to do all kinds of...
No, I'm sorry. Stop. Go back. Rewind. Go back.
You can
say that
use
again.
them as a human voodoo doll
and
stick needles in them.
Cindy.
But who's going to be the person reacting? Because Cindy can't react because Cindy's the doll.
Oh, we can find
Probably
people.
me.
Yeah, I was going to say, you react, honey.
It'll be fine. So this one's really fun because you got a lot more like occult themed aesthetics. It's the clothing and makeup that has the mystical and the supernatural powers and the ritualistic feel of it. And it's like way more fun. I'm totally going to skip paper dolls because I don't have that kind of time. Okay, so this one is cool. I'm going to combine these two.
Okay.
Posable action figures and toy soldiers.
Okay.
So this one I think is really, really cool. Or two, I guess, since I'm combining. They're turning the submissive into a highly controllable figure, but they're more posable. So like it's the one that you have like all the different joints and you can move them and, you know, position them in different things, like, but you're doing action figure poses. Usually the outfit is like a uniform, and you could do like superhero, military, G.I. Joe, She-Ra and He-Man, you know, if you were back in the day. Heroic, stoic behaviors. You could have a Captain America action figure doll, Miss Ma'am.
Yeah.
The toy soldier one does have more stiff movements for the walking. And like, did you ever see Babes in Toyland? I'm sure you did.
I've heard of it, but I've not seen it.
Okay, well, it was 1961, so I actually saw it. That was a staple when my brother and I were growing up. Or like the Nutcracker. You know, the soldiers, the Nutcrackers themselves are the soldiers. Okay, so it's kind of like that. It's that stiff walking, but in the action figures obviously have more joints, but it's very, very similar. All of these together in common, they're like three things they all have in common. There's the power exchange, where the doll maker dominant controls every aspect of the doll's appearance, movements, behavior, everything. Objectification, you've got their an inanimate object, focusing on stripping away the person's individuality, and the aesthetic is the key aspect. The aesthetic is the key aspect, and the desire to be transformed into a flawless, idealized version of a doll where imperfections are erased. The doll becomes an object of admiration. If you want to start exploring dollification, clearly take a class. You obviously have to like figure out what kind of doll you want, and I hope I went through enough of them. There's so much more than what I said. I just picked the ones that I thought were the coolest, and I didn't even say them all.
I didn't realize it went like that deep.
Oh no, yeah, it's crazy. That was the first thing that I learned in that class. And that's why I asked you that question that they asked in the class, because I had no fucking idea that you could do all of this. And like, clearly have your safety considerations, you know? If you're wearing a mask, make sure you can breathe. Unless you're incorporating...
What? Breathing?
Right. Well, unless you're incorporating breath play, but
even then, you need to take that into consideration. Make sure at some point they're breathing.
And again, silicone is your best bet. If you do a latex mask, please make sure that your person is not allergic to latex and you have discussed this beforehand. If you're going to do
and I was going to say to that also, beware. If you're doing this in a public setting, in a public dungeon, be aware, because if people come near you, make sure you're warning them. Like, that's latex. Be careful if you've got latex allergies.
Don't touch them.
Because it's not just you.
Yeah, like if you sit on a table wearing your latex, I mean, make sure that you tell them. I mean, it's going to be kind of obvious you're wearing latex, but, you know, have them wipe it down, or you maybe wipe it down.
Concept. Clean up after yourself.
Clean up after yourself. So I've got more stuff here, but it's not anything we need to talk about. Like, I pretty much talked about everything. So like if you're doing a puppet master scene and you're strung up like a puppet, you know, every movement, gesture, speech is controlled. Just make sure that you know what you're fucking doing and you're not like ripping people's staples out by accident.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I've seen it done on purpose with the staples being ripped out.
Yeah.
But if you can, it needs to be controlled, because you don't want the staples going flying everywhere.
Yeah. So if you want to learn more about like long-term dollification dynamics, like becoming somebody's doll, for that, I would highly recommend taking the class. Do you remember what her name was that was doing it? Because I can't for the life of me remember.
I don't remember who the teacher was. I mean, I know the person who runs Wicked Grounds.
Yeah, but the teacher, I mean, they taught over at Winterfire last year too. I'll find it. We'll put it in the show notes. But it was a really, really good class.
Yeah. maybe we can talk to them about potentially teaching for us next year.
Yeah, that would be actually really good because it was a really, really good class. Like, genuinely, I learned a lot. Like, I did the thing where I actually went back and I took notes from the class after it was, the 1 week thing. It was really good. Got anything else you want to add?
No, I mean, I think I love all the ideas. Poor Cindy and Naughty and Nice are going, we've got scenes planned for a very, very long time.
Well, again, this is going to be one of those things where we find out if they listen.
And now I'm laughing because now I'm thinking I got to go to Home Depot and see if they'll cut pieces of wood down into
looking
the
like
right size for me.
Find
I can hammer the two together so they cross over. That's easy. It's I don't have a saw to cut wood, but I have nails
they'll
and
cut
hammer.
it for you.
Right.
Just find your dimensions. Tell them what you want. They'll do it for you. I've done that. So no, it's
I don't spend a lot of time shopping in Home Depot.
Well, after building my my bucket holder for my plants this year, they definitely.
You don't see a lot of princesses roaming the halls of Dom Depot.
Yeah, I'm a lot less princessy than you.
Yeah, most people are.
Yeah. But you can do it. For your scene, you can do it. Or make Cindy do it.
Oh, somebody needs to come with me so we can video it for TikTok.
Okay.
All right, who wants to come with me to Home Depot and go shopping? Just volunteer now, please. Anybody? There's like silence. I don't understand.
Well, because this isn't coming out for several weeks.
Okay,
so
that's technical.
Difficulties or
technicalities, technical difficulties, all of the above.
Podcast math.
Yeah. So if you live in the DC area and you're willing to come with me to Home Depot, or you have access to a saw and can cut wood for me, please reach out. Inquiring minds need help.
Do you know how many people are going to post in the Discord now after this releases?
Well, I'm really upset because I was thinking the other day, like, did we ever tell the story about the snake?
What? Oh, yes, we did.
Right. So I was thinking the other day, if that ever happened again, but it was alive, like, what would I do? And I thought, oh, well, Witcher Man, he's got snakes for pets and he lives close by. And then I realized he's moved and he's no longer close by. So now I'm really upset because if I get a live snake in here, I am fucked. These are the things that keep me up at night. Don't ask.
Alrighty. Well, after that exciting episode where we could literally not control ourselves or our bodily functions.
Yeah, and I had to hide under a table, which only made things worse.
Yeah, no, you broke us at that point.
That was a first. It was a definite first for us.
Like I said, we've never actually had water sports on the show before. So congratulations, you heard it live.
So if that created water sports in your world, we're sorry.
Not really, no.
Not so much. Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you enjoyed what you heard, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a minute of our fun and educational content. New episodes drop every Friday.
If you love what we do and want to show support, there are several ways. Join us on Patreon at patreon.com/pinkkinkpodcast. You can support our affiliates or help spread the word about our kinky podcast to your friends.
Don't forget to rate and review Pink Kink on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Those 5-star reviews go a long way in boosting our podcast through the algorithm and reaching more listeners.
Sign up for our Pink Kink Institute classes. Shop at our Etsy shop, Pink Kink Boutique. Stay connected with us on social media. You'll find all the links on our Linktree posted in the show notes.
Your support means the world to us. So until next time, stay pretty, stay safe,
and stay twisted.